and thanks for joining us. Today we are hearing from Robin Keating, and she's going to share a little bit more about how LoveINC works to kind of come alongside and complement the assistance that the government provides to neighbors in our community who are struggling with poverty, who are struggling with different needs they might have, and how we at LoveINC try to really provide additional help and support. And you can read her blog post in the link at the description below. Remember to like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any future videos. And leave a comment below with your thoughts or questions on this topic, or even other ideas that you might have related to it. We'd love to engage with you further on that. And now to Robin's post. So Robin, my first question for you, I really appreciated in your post how you clearly describe both the role of the government social services and how they provide help to, people within our community, as well as the role of the church in loving our neighbors. And I'm curious, why do you think it's important for us to understand the differences between the government's role and the church's role in caring for those in need?
So I think part of the reason it's important to understand the differences is because you need to know where one maybe stops and the other begins. I think that the government can do great help, and yet it is limited. Mm-hmm. And if I, as a Christian, want to put my efforts towards helping somebody, I can, if I choose to help the same government help, then I'm kind of overlapping. And that's not necessarily bad, but I could choose to actually focus on the things that the government isn't able to do. For instance, spiritual care. The government can't make reference to how to help someone spiritually, and even sometimes relationally. They can put things in place for a person to maybe catch a breath in their situation, but it's not intended to take care of everything for the rest of life. Most government services are temporal. They're designed to supplement you, to help you that way. And so I think it's really important to know those differences. So one of the examples that came to my mind was just recently when there was a pause put on SNAP, people that were being referred to SNAP. We had the ability through LoveINC to know who those people were. We had relationship with them. We could check on them and see how they were doing. But we also had a united church that was ready to jump in and say, hey, we will supply these things for you. And it's done relationally. It's not, we're going to help you with SNAP and get you some food, and then we'll never see you again unless you're in need of food again. That's the beauty of LoveINC, is that it continues a relationship with people through the church. And then you can also learn if there's other needs that they have that are not being met at that time. Or with housing. The government might help you get into a house, but they're not going to stop by and visit you and spend time with you in your home, maybe have a meal in your home with you. So all that social and relational part that's so needed for us to thrive and do well in life can be brought in by the church.
Yeah, that's helpful. Yeah, thank you for kind of helping clarify the importance of those distinctions. So for you now as a staff member here at LoveINC, but even before that, you were a volunteer for quite some time as well. How have you seen the way that LoveINC, through the local churches that we work to mobilize and equip, how have you seen the way that LoveINC serves neighbors in ways that are distinct from other agencies or government programs?
So I would say the number one thing that I see that's distinct is the amount of prayer that happens. That was probably the part that made me want to become a part of LoveINC more than anything else, was that I was able to bring someone to a God that cares about them, maybe for the first time. I rarely met somebody that wasn't wanting prayer or appreciated prayer. And that's something that the government's not going to offer. Or most other agencies, maybe some other faith-based agencies, but you have to provide the relationship that you have with God to someone else. But the other things would be the follow-up that we do. We actually call people back after they've been served to make sure that it went well. Is there anything else we can do? People aren't used to that. They're used to having to always take the initiative to call you back for something else, or nobody who calls to find out if it went well for you. So I think that's really distinct. And the last thing I would say is there's a consistency of same people. Many times in a government or certain agencies, there's a big turnover in the people that you'll be dealing with, and so when you're in need of something, trust is a big factor. It's hard to keep trusting a complete stranger over and over again, and so I think it's really important how LoveINC has same people relationships, walking with people, following their progress, seeing how they're doing, being able to say, how's it going? I heard that you got a job, or whatever. They have that ability to continue that relationship with them.
Yeah, that relationship is a huge part of it, of just being able to continue knowing somebody and giving them a place where they don't have to start from scratch all the time.
Yes, that's big.
So my last question for you, how have you seen the work that's been done here through LoveINC, through the local churches ultimately? How have you seen that complement the support given by government agencies, by government assistance?
One thing that comes to mind is the government, again, with housing, can supply the dwelling that you're going to live in. LoveINC can supply the things that's going to make that a home. They can help with the furniture through one of our partners. The other thing that comes to mind is I've been getting some calls for this. People with children with special needs. The government can do a great job of supplying maybe the extra tutors or support groups for the parents and things like that to help them be well equipped in many ways. But relationally, there can be a real gap or just a rest for the parents. And so some of the churches in the area, they actually do respite for parents. They have trained volunteers where you can bring your children to the church and leave them for an evening to have some fun and games and interaction in a very safe environment. And the parents maybe they can go on a date, or maybe they can go catch some dinner. Maybe they want to just take a nap, whatever it is, but they're allowed that. And there are even some churches that offer resources for when you attend a Sunday service. And I think the other thing is just being able to offer community. It's hard to offer a community outside of the community that you're already in if you're trying to start anew. Yeah. And many times people are in situations because they have no community, or they would prefer to change the community that they're in. And so I think that the church, the government can provide places, but the church can come in and do the relational work, which I think is just so important.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you, Robin. Thank you for your post and your work, just helping us better understand government assistance and understand our relationship to it here at LoveINC and the churches we work with. So I appreciate your work on that.
Thanks.
Well, thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a great week.
you.